Ciao everyone, welcome back to my slow fashion channel. Today, all about loafers, styling them, how to wear them, looking at things like proportion and silhouette and how they play together. I don't like do's and don'ts videos, but these are definitely hopefully guides and ideas if you are struggling with styling your loafers, or if you've had a pair and you're just getting bored of them. The loafer is such a classic shoe. It's such a good one for fall, super versatile. So today I am sharing all of my tips on how to wear them, how to make them look good, how to feel good wearing them. However, I didn't know this, but like I could talk about loafers for a very long time, so I had to break it up into two parts. Today's video is only going to be styling loafers with denim, and then the next video on styling loafers is going to be about styling them with skirts, dresses, and trousers. Actually, before we get into it, let me explain what I mean when I talk about loafers. I'm talking about loafers in the very traditional sense. The slip-on, laceless shoe that is more sort of identified with traditional menswear, but its biggest identifier is the fact that it has no laces. Not to be confused, however, with a driver, which is also a slip-on, but that's more soft. It's identified by the rubber studs on the bottom. A very, very flexible shoe, almost feels more like a moccasin. So I'm not talking about drivers because I do think there's a difference. A loafer has a little bit more structure to it, and loafers do come also in different styles. There's heeled loafers, tasseled loafers, horse bit loafers. I only have one pair, so I'm going to be using the same pair throughout. These are a very classic slight heel, some good structure to them. They are from M.A. Parsons. These were very kindly a gift. But the reason why I chose these, if you're looking at adding a pair of loafers, think about the way footwear informs the rest of your closet and informs your outfit choices. Like, how do you prioritize footwear in your closet? A lot of my clothes are very classic, so I know that my footwear is what adds the interest. It's what brings the drama. It's what makes my outfits feel more dynamic and interesting. So I chose a texture that is patent, so it adds a bit of shine, that has a little bit of that sort of croc embossed, so it gets that really interesting texture. And I chose a rich brown instead of black because a lot of my outfits, a lot of my clothes revolve around black, white, cream, tan, and blue. So this rich brown works with all of those colors without melting in too much with the background. If we want to talk about what to look for in a quality loafer, I think it's a lot of similar properties as looking for a quality shoe. I love to see a shoe with a good visual weight and heft to it. So when we're looking at the sole, it's not just glued on at the bottom. The interior and upper is all leather. When you're looking at the interior of a shoe, especially a flat one that you're just gonna stomp around all day in, I always like to make sure that the sole, the inside, that leather piece, hits all the way around the sides of the shoe. So it's not stopping, there's no gap, you know, like between the upper and the sole. It fits perfectly and it's flush all the way down to the toe. So I personally love looking for leather footwear. I like to see stitching around the toe so that my foot is gonna have a little bit more give. The stitching around here, like around the top, is gonna give a little bit more stretch. These haven't had any break-in period. I've been able to wear them for long periods of time right away without getting any blisters, which I have to say is rare for flats. I also flip the shoe upside down and look to see if there is either a welt, which means that the sole has been sewed or stitched on. This is also pretty important. We don't see this as often, but I look for stitching as often as possible instead of glue. I love these in particular because they have a little bit of a heel, so you get a little bit of lift, a little bit of femininity, but it's still super comfortable to walk in. Because we're talking about styling this one shoe, what I want to talk about also are the elements that are present in loafers. They're gonna give us automatically a preppy, more polished sort of vibe. So that's something to keep in mind, especially if that is not at all part of your style personality, which is totally fine, but definitely something to think about. That polish, it's very classic, it's very almost traditional in a sense, very scholarly. So either you're going to use it to contrast your style, or you're going to use it to sort of use that as part of your style and lean into it a little bit more. They also have a pretty hefty visual weight. They're flat. These in particular are dark. They don't have a sleek profile. So So no matter what outfit you're looking at, you're going to be adding more visual weight to the bottom of your outfit. So this is a really important piece to remember when you're thinking of the proportions and how they play with your outfit there. Also, the vamp of the shoe, which is of course where the top of the loafer ends, it's going to land higher on your foot. So there's going to be a bigger, more obvious horizontal line break higher up your leg. So this is also something to keep in mind when it comes to proportions. Where are the horizontal line breaks happening in the rest of your outfit in relation to the shoe? So with all of those things to think about, now let's get into the styling with denim. Let's start with the straight leg. These are a straight leg mid-rise Levi's, and the hemline goes pretty down below the ankle. For a classic straight leg denim like this, there's not a lot of foot showing, and the profile of the shoe is similar to the profile of the denim. There's not too much volume and it's not too fitted. I like this styled with the sheer white button-up because it offsets how classic everything else is in the outfit. The black and white adds a little bit of interesting contrast as well, but it shows off a lot of my body underneath. So we're still getting some nice definition, and this offsets the heaviness of the loafer and low and straight hemline combination because we're not seeing any skin there. So with the sheerness of the shirt, the look still feels like we're getting enough definition of the body and we're still able to appreciate and follow the line of the whole look. I like adding the volume up top and not having something too fitted or in the same colorway as the trousers because otherwise it'll fall flat. You can see here in the comparison that the all black look is fine. There's nothing wrong with this, but there isn't enough variance, in my opinion, of either color or proportion here. A lot of times we hear about contrasting things with volume, with things that are super sleek and fitted, and I still believe in this. I think it's a great tip to follow, but I want to show you here that sometimes that doesn't always work. Do you see what happens when I have these straight leg denim paired with just a super fitted blazer in comparison to the one with volume? It doesn't really work. Even though the blazer is super fitted, it's still a bit too long and not enough of a contrast to add that definition that we're looking for with the straight leg. If I wanted to wear something fitted with a loafer, I would go for a flare leg denim instead. The reason is we get that beautiful juxtaposition of something nice and sleek and fitted from the thigh up, but we still get that interesting tension and juxtaposition of volume on the bottom. The loafer doesn't feel too heavy or out of place because it's got the volume of the flare to work with. Not to mention in this look in particular, the loafer adds that really nice hit of interest and shine and texture with a fairly basic look everywhere else. Another option with flares is to really lean into the whole sort of romantic and feminine curves that flares give and wear them with a blouse. I love this because you not only get that nice tension between the menswear and women's wear in the flare and the loafer, but you're getting it in that blouse as well. To create a less heavy look with this blouse, I've swapped out the black skinny belt for this brown one, and I've added this boxy jacket. That way the browns pull from the browns in the loafer a little bit, and I love the way the boxy jacket balances out the flared leg and the loafer as well. With tapered and cropped denim, there isn't too much drama happening here, but we are seeing a lot more skin in the ankle. The blouse here feels really benign and predictable to me, so I would swap this out for a button-up shirt again, worn out. So definitely something that has more of that contrast in volume. I'm wearing it out because this feels a little bit more contemporary. It would still look really good tucked in. You can see how good the classic button-up shirt looks tucked into a cropped denim. These ones are more of a straight leg, but ultimately the look just feels really good and polished, and it doesn't lean too hard into the menswear because we get this beautiful hit of ankle. So I love the way this looks. I also like the way the button-up shirt looks untucked. We've got a nice tension between the volume and the length of the shirt with the length of the denim. Now, I think a lot of us would say, oh, oh, but this is unflattering because it's shortening my legs or whatever. I think this is still a really fun look that I enjoy, and I think this is where that cropped proportion comes in handy, because we're seeing that skin, we're seeing the delicateness of the ankle, contrasted heavily with the heft of the loafer. We still get that sense of being a little bit delicate. I would also add a blazer on top of here too. Now all we're doing is making the tapered leg on the denim feel even more tapered. I also like that the brown of the blazer pulls in the brown again from the loafer, creating a more cohesive look. Tapered and cropped denim is also a great opportunity to add a sock to your loafers. You either want to match the sock with the denim or the sock with the shoe. In this case, because my cardigan is light, my denim is a light wash, I'm gonna make the sock match as much as possible, or blend as much as possible, with the lighter tones of this look and not the darkness of the loafer. If we did a black sock, it would come across as way too heavy. We wouldn't get to appreciate the interest and the visual weight of the loafer on its own, because now it just looks a little bit just like a blob at the bottom of my outfit. That's not what we want. We still want to be able to distinguish those textures and the color from the rest of the outfit. A dark sock with the loafer would look great with the black mid-waist denim that I used earlier in the video. You can see how the visual weight feels a little bit more distributed and balanced, and it still feels more streamlined. I've kept the cream cardigan because I don't want this to be too visually heavy. As I've mentioned before, the loafer already carries a lot of visual heft, plus we're adding a black sock with the black denim. So I want to lighten up the look elsewhere. I'm also going to lighten up the look here with some definition and some skin. So rather than just wearing the cardigan as its regular boxy self, I'm going to give it a little tuck for some definition, and I'm going to show some skin by unbuttoning some buttons, show some collarbone, and lift the sleeves. I also want to go back to this look here because the straight leg is a little bit wide and there's a lot of drama with the flipped cuff. I personally think a straight to wide leg denim will always look good with a loafer, no matter what you style it with on top. And that's because the juxtaposition, that interest, is happening between the silhouette of the denim, the width of the denim, with the heft of the shoe. So we're seeing weighty, hefty shoe, delicate ankle, interesting, wide silhouette on the leg. I also like that the raw hem brings it down a notch, kind of like making it feel more easy and approachable. With wide leg denim, I like to juxtapose with a feminine blouse or a more delicate top. Proportionally, the loafer is now adding sharpness and contrast to all of that volume in the denim. So it's a little bit different from all of the other examples we've been seeing. It also lends a sense of dressiness or elevation to the wide leg. Wide leg denim is really soft, it's relaxed, it's casual, and the loafer is in complete contrast to that. So I'm going to contrast the relaxed vibe of the wide leg with the blouse, and I'm also going to keep my hair up because there's already so much volume going on. This way I can kind of contrast that volume and flow with my hair too. For a more trend forward look, I would style the loafer and a wide leg with a boxy button up and leave it undone. I would keep a couple buttons undone at the bottom, but I wouldn't tuck it in. And that's it. Volume on top of volume, the loafer can handle it. You could also add a coat to this look if that volume on volume isn't for you. I would add probably something with a bit of tailoring to add or juxtapose the softness and the volume that's happening on the bottom with the wide leg. You could also go with a completely different proportion play, like this super fitted and sleek turtleneck. Here, the loafers feel sleek and fitted alongside the turtleneck because the wide leg denim has so much volume and softness to it. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you learned something new. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget, part 2 will come with skirts, dresses, and trousers. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, your week, your afternoon, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for being here and watching. It always means so much. And I will see you in the next slow fashion video. Ciao!